of great significance. As a professor of health sciences, Bhushanji also served as the Vice Chairman of the University Grants Commission. It is my privilege to welcome Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan to the technical session of P K Warrier in memoriam. Welcome, Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan. Dr. Vijay Kumar, a close friend of Vaidyaratnam, has ever been ready to accept our invitations whenever we needed his expertise and guidance. Now serving as a professor in the Department of Cardiology in Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, Kochi. Coming to Kottakkal would be a homecoming to Dr. Vijay Kumar, I believe, as VPSC Ayurveda College is his alma mater. Welcome Dr. Vijay Kumar to this program. Dr. Tanuja Nesari, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, is a dynamic personality in all respects. Her contributions to Ayurveda academia and research are commendable. It is a pleasure to welcome you, Dr. Tanuja, to this event. Dr. Rama Jayasundar, originally a physicist, turns out to be an ambassador of Ayurveda internationally. Her interest in Ayurveda is matchless, that made her pursue BAMS, taking study leave from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, where she now serves as the head of the department of NMR. Vaidyaratnam is fortunate to have associated with her in a few of our ventures. A hearty welcome to you, Dr. Rama Jayasundar. Dr. C.V. Jayadevan, Principal, VPSP Ayurveda College, is moderating this session. Welcome to Dr. Jayadevan. I may extend a formal welcome to Dr. G.C. Gopalapillai, CEO Vaidyaratnam, and Dr. P.R. Ramesh, who is the Chief Clinical Research. Welcome to this session. I welcome everyone from the audience to this program. It is our presence, it is your presence that adds meaning to this program and serves its purpose. Offering my humble salutations to the soul of Dr. P K Warrier, I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We would like to request Dr. G.C. Gopalapillai, sir, our respected CEO, for introductory speech. Sir, please.
Beloved Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan, Dr. M. Vijay Kumar, Dr. Tanuja Nesari, Dr. Rama Jayasundar, Dr. C.V. Jayadevan, our most beloved Dr. P.M. Varier, Dr. P.R. Ramesh, Dr. Rajagopal, esteemed professional colleagues and friends. In the galaxy of these esteemed experts in the field of science and technology, with particular emphasis on Ayurveda, I would call myself to be called a Pamara, not Pandita, because it is highly embarrassing to speak about neither the Ayurveda or the science and technology. Within this limitation, let me dwell upon some thoughts which may be an incitement, I don't want to call it a provocation, for further brainstorming. Ayurveda, the Indian system of medicine, needless to say that it is practiced in the Indian subcontinent since the times of Vedas. Till the arrival of colonial rule, the healthcare of Indian population was looked after by Ayurveda practitioners trained through the tradition of Gurukula system or pupillage. In the early period of 19th century, that means 1801 onwards, the education of Ayurveda was institutionalized, started getting institutionalized. Yes, we should remember that it was in the year 1902 that our founder started Vaidyaratnam at Kottakkal, followed by the establishment of Ayurveda Padashala in Kottakkal, that is Ayurveda College now. There onwards, the number of institutions imparting Ayurveda education started growing gradually. But the government public health sector, especially with the colonial rule, I think in the books of Dr P.S. Varier, there is a mention, and also in some other books written by Mrs. Gita Krishnankutti also speaks about the domination of colonial rule, which has been a suppressing effect on the field of Ayurveda. Even after independence, it refused to utilize the service of Ayurveda for delivering health care through these means. Moreover, in the absence of clarity about the legal status of Ayurveda practitioners to practice modern medicine, at times they face legal prosecution. This is the plight of Ayurveda, very sad plight of Ayurveda and Ayurveda practitioner in general. The story of this plight was written by Foray Committee. I hope the experts in this field know the name of Foray Committee very well. He was put as a chairman of the committee, Sir Joseph Foray, in 1943, which kept Ayurveda out of the domain of public health service structure by ignoring Indian system of medicine. This is the starting point. Unfortunately, that was followed. There are 338 undergraduate and 138 PG colleges in the country, having intake of around 22,000 undergraduates and 4,500 PG students every year, totaling around 27,000. It must be a matter of ethical concern for every responsible Indian, particularly the policy makers, that not many career prospects are open to this 27,000 youth force graduating every year. This youth force get pushed into the rat race of private medical practice. He finds his qualification useless to get entry in the government public health service as a doctor. This was the most misery thing today. But things are getting changed, no doubt about it. The Foray Committee report published in 1946 is a blueprint of India's post-independence public health service system. That's the point. All the committees constituted thereafter just towed the line drawn by Foray Committee. Foray Committee first time coined the words modern scientific medicine. That means they can ignore the ISM, Indian medicine. Modern scientific medicine means the so-called allopathic system introduced by colonial rule. I am not belittling the science of modern medicine. Definitely it should go side by side with the traditional medicine. No doubt about it. The purpose of using an adjective modern and another adjective scientific for allopathic medicine was a deliberate attempt to denounce the indigenous system of medicine, outrightly telling that indigenous is unscientific and outdated. This was the intention. Let us look at the history of some other reports followed. I must here mention, for the information of all our experts and people concerned here, which is not, I tried to go through the Wikipedia history. Anyway, after that, the first Health Ministers' Conference was held in 1946. Again, Mudaliar Committee report happened in 1959. Bajaj Committee report in 1986. That report refused to use Ayurveda practices, but chose to use the service of Ayurveda practitioners for non-medical services such as distribution of medicine and motivation of the people for immunization and family welfare. This was our Bajaj Committee report back as 1986. Next stage was the attempts were made in isolation in places like some provinces such as Bombay and Madras to regulate and register first time in India ISM practitioners in their provinces. Isolated effort. But at a national level, the doors of public health services were closed for ISM. Only in the recent past, some changes and encouragement started for Ayurveda. We should not close our eyes regarding the pragmatic effort taken by the government of India, and we should acknowledge the government in this regard at the central level. Traditional medicine has always had a role. This has been emphasized in the WHO Global Report on Traditional and Complementary Medicine 2019, in which it is stated that 88% of WHO member states acknowledge the use of traditional and complementary medicine in health care. But where are we now? WHO aims to provide policy and technical guidance supposed to member states and support member states in harnessing the contribution of traditional and complementary medicine to people-centered healthcare in implementing the WHO traditional medicine strategy.